Hello everyone and welcome to an Impossible Creatures tutorial. My name is Bchamp or Brandon and I'll be taking you through some early game build orders today. I'll be taking you through 3 build orders, the first of which is going to be a bunch of rookie mistakes that I see a lot of players do, and I'll try to make all of them and explain why you shouldn't do them. And then I'll be showing you 2 other build orders, the first of which is going to be more economically focused, the second of which is going to be more rush based. I am playing on Impossible Creatures Tellurian 2.4.1. It's a mod that you can find on Steam. You should definitely get it. It's the norm for online play. One thing I'm going to note here is that for this tutorial, we are going to be on normal speed, and that is only so you can follow along more easily and I'll have more time to say what I need to say rather than going on fast speed. When you play online, you'll be playing on fast, so make sure that all your practicing and everything you're doing is on fast. So without further ado, here we go. So the key to an early game build order that is good is making sure that nothing is idle. That means your lab, that means henchmen, that means buildings that are waiting to be built, or even having too long of a queue at your lab. So one thing that you'll see people do right away is sending one henchman maybe to collect coal, and then having the other 2 come and build lightning rods. And they won't just build 1 lightning rod, they will build 2, they will build 3 lightning rods, as many as they can, with all the resources, back to back to back with both henchmen. So this is bad because we are making no henchmen at the lab, and henchmen get us coal. We need coal early in the game. This is also bad because now you have these unfinished lightning rods that are just sitting there, wasting. You just spent all your coal on those lightning rods and they're not doing anything. They're not producing electricity. They are just waiting to be built. And so it'd be much better if you just built 1 lightning rod, started building henchmen, and then started going for your second one, third rod, etc. Another thing that's a common mistake here is having your lightning rods all clumped together like this. This is really dangerous, especially if the enemy has artillery, because artillery has splash damage. It could take out all of your lightning rods all at once. So here I am trying to make henchmen as quickly as possible, but I can't make any more. But I notice, hey, I'm at 300 electricity, so I should probably save up for level 2. Level 2 is 300 electricity, 200 coal. I'm not going to build any more henchmen because I want to save up to get to be able to hit level 2 as quickly as possible. And this is definitely a rookie mistake because you need to focus on your economy, building henchmen, collecting coal. You don't need this much electricity. This is too much electricity early on. There's nothing you need to spend it on besides level 2. And getting to level 2 earlier is not going to help you if you don't have the coal to build units. But people will think, oh, I want to build units as quickly as possible, or I want to make sure I'm able to defend a rush by having units as quickly as possible. But the best way to defend a rush is have the resources to be able to back it up. And so right now I have enough coal. I'm going to take henchmen away and start building my creature chamber. And another thing that people do is potentially they are not going to build henchmen now that their lab is idle and ready to build henchmen, because they want to save resources for creatures. This is definitely not something that you need to do right away, especially this early in the game. We're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the game clock. But here you're going to see people save up, and they're going to try to max out and build as many creatures as possible. And let's see, try to get that next creature in. It's not coming. Great, let's get, yeah, there we go, next creature. So I'm trying to build as many creatures as possible. But here, another rookie mistake is having these idle henchmen. So you want to be able to keep your henchmen as active as possible. Hold down the shift key, right click back to the coal when you're not using them. Another thing, when you're building and queuing things at your creature chamber, people will queue a bunch of creatures, run out of resources. It's going to be much more effective to actually queue a creature, and then with the resources you have, actually just queue another henchman. And then go back here. Once this creature is done, then you'll go and queue the next one as soon as you have enough resources, and you'll go back and forth between the 2. Here, I have so few henchmen. that I'm unable to even do this demonstration and build creatures for you guys properly. Also, you want to usually set a rally points for your creature chamber. This makes it a lot easier for creatures to get out of the way. So when you're trying to select your creature chamber, you can get to it easily. If you need henchmen to come and repair it, you can get to it easily. And you just want your creatures out of the way to make it faster if you do get attacked in any sort of high burden situation. So this is it for the common mistakes tutorial, and I'll be going through now a build order that is definitely more economic based and something that I would suggest. But I will have a disclaimer, and that is that I am not by any means the best Impossible Creatures player out there. So copying me does not mean that you will win the games, that this is the best build order or anything like that. It is just an example, and hopefully you guys can learn something from it. So right away I'm going to build 3 to 4 henchmen at my lab, and then I'm going to take henchmen and start building my first lightning rod. And I'm going to take one of the henchmen in queue. I can right click directly on the lightning rod and from my lab, and then I'll automatically go and that henchman will start building.
Hello. Ready, boss.
Here, I'm going to queue up another lightning rod for them.
Right. Boss, you're the boss.
And then I'm already, right when they're done with that rod, they should be able to go back and start mining coal. So one of the tricks that you should keep in mind is to maximize your coal production. Generally, you should have 2 henchmen per coal stack. So here we have 5 stacks of coal and 9 henchmen, so 1 more. That will be perfect to optimize our coal production. Too many, it will just overcrowd the area. And so next, I'm actually going to set a rally point over here. This is where another coal stack is, and I'm going to start sending henchmen over there. So it's good to get a workshop up early. It's also good to know the maps very well, and that way you know exactly where the coal is on these maps. And here we go.
Okay. Boss,
I'm going to select my lab. I'm going to right click this workshop, and so henchmen will automatically start to appear there. You can see I've already passed 300 electricity, but I'm not really super eager to go for level 2 quite yet if I don't need to.
Done building.
And right after this henchman gets built, I'm going to be going for level 2, and I'm going to be rallying this henchman over here actually. And so what this henchman is going to do is he's going to build my first geyser, or my first generator on top of the geyser. So I happen to know where the geyser was, send a henchman over there right away, start building, and then I want to set my rally point back on my workshop. So geysers help me build a lot of electricity really quickly. I'm going to take 2 more henchmen right here, and I'm going to build another lightning rod, possibly even a second rod.
All right, ready, boss.
And then cue this henchman to go to his next location, which I'll probably have him be building a creature chamber, which I'm going to want right around there.
Level 2
Looking at level
research
2, immediately
No building this
don't
up.
want an idle lab, and so I'm immediately starting to build more henchmen. And then actually I'm just going to have this guy go here. It'll be much faster to take 2 henchmen here and build my creature chamber. It's much closer, less space for them to walk.
Building's done. Ready,
See,
boss.
right when the building is done, I'm going to send more henchmen again back here. Keep building henchmen at my lab, because in the long term, these henchmen are going to come up way more useful than conserving your resources. You want to try to minimize how many resources you have up here. Even select your workshop, and you can even convert some of your electricity to coal. Here I can pop out a couple units and keep building henchmen. So both my creature chamber and my lab are being used. I'm constantly upgrading my electrical generator, and I'm also looking for, maybe I don't want to build any more henchmen here, I want to go for advanced structures research. That's definitely something that I can do. Now expanding even more, I can look into sending some henchmen over here. I know there's a geyser here. If I want to build additional units, I can. We're still working on, at the lab, advanced structures research going on, doing more upgrades to the generator, trying to get those resources as fast as possible. And now, if I so chose to, I could just wait to go level 3. I still have a little bit of time though, so I might as well pop out another henchman. And now that I've done advanced structures research, you want to be sure to use it. If you're going to research it, then you might as well use it. Build that research clinic right away. Now, I'm ready to go to level 3. And I can keep building units if I want to. These guys are done over here. Now that I'm going level 3, I know that I have water units coming. So while level 3 is researching, I'm building my water chamber. Here, going back to these guys, I already did it. They already sent back to the coal here. If I'm really focusing on economy, I might want to strengthen electrical grid. This will increase the amount of electricity that I'm producing. Don't forget to go over here and make sure you're upgrading your turbines or your generators. And now these henchmen, they can go and either try to find more coal to collect, other geysers, build creature chambers, go on the offense, build more structures, sound beam towers, whatever it is you want to do. I hope this was a good example for you guys to understand how to do a much more balanced but economically focused build order. So for the last build order that we're going to be doing is going to be for rushing. And so this is if you want to attack your enemies as quickly as possible. Again, we're playing computers on easy, so we're not going to see too much resistance. But we're focusing on getting creatures out here. And so that means quicker lightning rods and getting to level 2 faster than the last build order. So you can see right after one coal pass, I'm sending my henchmen to build the first lightning rod. I built I queued 3 henchmen initially at the lab, and now I just added the 4th one after I built the lightning rod. And then I'm getting ready to build my 2nd rod here, so you can see very quickly getting these lightning rods out. Hold down shift, have it go next. I'm spacing out these lightning rods. This is much better for attack from artillery units. And this sort of spacing, in particular with the lab, 1 square away from the lab and the lightning rods are 1 square apart, is really good because you can build a sound beam tower in the center square and it's not able to be easily attacked by melee units. So I am quickly building more and more henchmen as fast as I possibly can. Keeping an eye out to get no more than 10 henchmen at these 5 coal piles. So this will be my 10th henchman. Okay, and so here I'm going to be, again, just like normal, rallying. Actually, I'll be doing something different for a rush. Let's rally the henchmen over here towards my enemy's base. This is not necessarily something that you need to do. If you don't feel comfortable with this, don't do it. You can rally them to this coal pile just as before. I just hit 300 electricity, so I started researching level 2. Now my lab, I'm going to set the rally point over here for future henchmen. Then these 2 henchmen are going to build a creature chamber very close to the enemy base. This is a great rush strategy. It's called a forward chamber strategy. And this creature chamber right in their base is going to help get units to them a lot more quickly. Also, whenever you're considering a rush, it's very good to have henchmen go along with that, with any sort of attack on your opponent's base, so you can create sound beam towers with those henchmen, additional creature chambers, etc. So I have some Panther Emmings here that I'm going to be trying to pop out right away, come in and attack. I'm going to go back to my lab using Control Z. I selected my lab. I'm going to start building more henchmen there as well. And I'm going to send my Panther Emmings to attack. Again, these guys are just on easy, so it's not very difficult to take out these henchmen or this enemy. But here's a good example of what you could be doing. Make sure that when you're doing any sort of rush that you're keeping an eye on your base. You make sure that you keep building your economy, you keep building henchmen, additional lightning rods if necessary. If you know that you have high electricity level 2s, then maybe you'd want to build lightning rods. These henchmen in this case aren't doing very much, but you see a creature chamber is being, or actually it was being built back there, but they just canceled it. So it's like creature chamber is being built over here. You can actually build a sound beam tower next to their creature chamber. so that if they do get this up, it doesn't look like he will. But if he were to get this up, then a Sound Beam Tower would immediately start attacking any creatures that did come out. Again, making sure to check up on my lab, keep my economy going. Let's build some additional lightning rods, as soon as I'm able.
You're the boss.
Going over, looking here. And so this is an example of an early game rush. And so as you can see with the rush, your economy is not nearly as strong as it is with the economic option, but you do get a lot of aggression at the start. Keep in mind though, if you do decide to go for a level 2 rush, early game rush like this, that know when to pull out, know when you've potentially lost the attack, and it's not worth building any more creatures. Focus on your economy. You don't want to overextend yourself and hurt yourself for a counterattack or an attack by another enemy. So anyway, I really hope this video was informative for you. Key takeaways are: don't have an idle lab, idle henchman, build tons of henchmen constantly early game. And if you have a game plan, whether it be a rush, whether it be an economic boom, then be sure to follow that plan and know exactly what you need to do. So anyhow, have fun playing Impossible Creatures, guys. I'll be sure to be uploading more tutorials in the near future. And I'll potentially see you online.